Welcome back to another episode of the Independent Podcast. Here again with Jon Kilmer, and we're gonna run another Q&A for you guys. And I think we're gonna touch on work, life, family balance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that'll be kind of the main theme of the episode. So,
I love that. Do you know who asked that question?
No, do you?
No, I forget.
Yeah, somebody on Instagram
Yeah.
in a story. But the question was specifically, how do you balance work and life?
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's a little bit of a different answer because
Yeah. Let's start by talking about the differences between my lifestyle and yours. Now, I know you laugh because of probably me 10 years ago, but
no.
But even today, I mean, you're a man that has been in a very, very long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Married, 2 kids, a couple donkeys, a pony,
Yeah.
a couple cows. I mean, how do you balance all that with what
Right.
you're doing career-wise? I mean, I can only imagine.
Now it's different. I'm in a different place now as far as people listening or as far as revenue stream or whatever, where I feel comfortable working less, right? So that's a little different. So maybe I can touch on that, and then I'll touch on what it was like when I was doing like the everyday grind, right?
Well, how long ago was that?
Not
The
too
everyday
long
grind.
ago. It was the everyday grind was probably from January 2019 until what year are we in? We're in 2023. Till probably fall of last year.
Yeah, so during that time,
Yeah.
you were still in the similar circumstances that you're in now as a family man, a father,
Yeah,
husband,
yes,
all that.
yes.
Yeah.
But like my work schedule now is very different.
Right.
So, but then there's a lot of I had a child, and then I had two children, and I had a wife, and my priorities were there. So really, for the first 2 years of my career of like everyday grinding, it was in my free time. It was I took care of everything I needed to at home, or at least made sure everyone was good. Like my wife understood like there needs to be some extra work going on, right? But it wasn't easy, really. There was some, conversations that had to be had, and as far as me and my wife, go and to keep everything smooth at home. I had another business I was running. I had a photography business that I was running, and that was the main source of income for my family. I was sole provider there.
Before the music money started coming in.
Before the music money started. The first like over 2 years, I didn't pay myself $1 in my music money. Everything came in, to DistroKid. That's where I distribute through. So the money would come in. I would either leave it in there or take out a little bit to buy more beats or to buy whatever I needed for music. But $1 never went to me for the first over 2 years.
So just so I have this straight, there was a time when you had your photography business, you were putting a lot of time into music, and you were a family man.
Yeah.
And you were balancing all 3 of those at the same time.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Exhausting, for example,
Yeah.
you have to, keep my photography clients happy, keep my family fed, and available.
Yeah.
I had a father that was not available. So I never, my priority is my family, no matter what. And then, right, so I used to record in my home on the couch, on a dining room table, wherever I could. But then, we had a 900 square foot house, the first house that we purchased.
Yeah.
And I can't, my kids go to sleep at whatever, 8:30. My wife would go to sleep at 9. So I had to record in my minivan. I would go out to my minivan at night, turn the minivan on. There's an outlet in the back, a regular AC outlet.
Yeah.
And I had a minivan studio. So when I used to film my mini jam sessions, it was legit my studio. The first setup in there, I ended up building like a custom desk in there. But the first one was a box of merch, my laptop on it. And then I bought a little ottoman chair from Target that I set in the back. And I sat in there, van running, and recorded 50 masters in there.
And are there songs that are out today that you recorded in that van?
Oh, yeah.
When you listen to them, does it remind you of that time?
You know what you can do if you solo the vocal? You can hear the hum of the engine and in the wintertime, you can hear the heat.
See, I think that's
running.
Special though. That's a little, that's just like a little mark on the music, which reminds you of the time that you were in, which I think is special.
It does. And I mean, the balance, for me, the balance was keep the main thing, and then grind as hard as you can after you've done that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's, maybe it's different for someone else, but the way that I needed to do it was make sure all that was good, and then work on it after that. And then what happened was, when you, like, where you put your focus is what'll grow. So I came to my wife 2 years in, and she's a realist. She needs to see something on paper in hand, like, not just, I think I can do it. She needs to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed her. It was 2 years in. I didn't see the money until December, but because it's on a delay, how artists
2 to
get
3
paid.
months, yeah.
So it was like my October income, and it was $4,200.
Nice.
And I was like,
Yeah.
this is 2 years in, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is enough. To worst come to worst, I can provide for my family. Our mortgage was, $900 a month at the time. Mm-hmm. Nothing crazy. Mm-hmm. So I showed it to her, and I was like, hey, I really think I can. And I did that all in my free time, trying to balance everything.
Was she supportive of you during those early times?
Yes, right?
Maybe it took a lot to make her a believer.
It's that part,
Yeah.
It's like what you see so clearly here isn't necessarily clear for someone who doesn't.
Well, not for anyone. It's your
Right.
mind. Yeah. Only you can see it. Mm-hmm.
And it really became something. Like, I asked her, I said, hey, do you mind if I pursue music as a career?
Yeah.
I won't let it take away from the providing for the family, for the whatever. Mm-hmm. Do you mind if I give it a go? Like, I had that conversation, because it's not just my decision. If that decision affects my entire family. Mm-hmm. And obviously it worked out, but it could have just maybe as easily gone the other way. So, and if that was my sole decision, and I said, hey, I know I can do this, she was like, I don't think it's a good idea, and then it doesn't work out, then I look like an ass, So it's like, there's compromise there. I think a lot of people, when they get into a relationship, maybe they don't fully grasp, like, your decisions now affect your entire family.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't pursue music for years because my wife said it wasn't something that she wanted me to do.
Yeah.
So I didn't. Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, like, I don't know the word. It's not like, because of that compromise, we grew. So then when I did pursue music, I was able to feel confident I was supported.
Yeah.
And I could go 100% and not feel like I'm doing something wrong or against someone else's will.
But I find that interesting, though, because, I mean, under your completely different set of circumstances than a lot of people, including myself, when you're starting this new career path, it's not just affecting you, and you're going into it thinking, like, I'm not doing this just for the fame or to benefit myself. I'm doing this to take care of my family. And I'm sure, like, when you went in there and you're making those songs, did that come through the music at all? Or did that come through the creative process at all? Or, like, the motivation behind it?
Right. It's definitely the motivation part.
Yeah.
Like, but there could be something deeper than that, Like,
Mm-hmm.
it literally could have been, like I said, my dad wasn't there. Mm-hmm. It could be me. We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Could be me saying, like, or me, like, showing him that I'm good enough.
Yep.
Right. Like, I'm worth the shit. Like that kind of,
The fire. Chip
right,
on the shoulder.
like, maybe a little bit of that,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I'll show you, you should have loved me better,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that drove me as equally or less or more of, wanting to provide a life for my family that I'm proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just doing something that I love, because my main goal is a flexible life.
Yep.
I think I mentioned this to you too, but I'm content with not a lot. Mm-hmm. Shack on the beach,
Yeah.
renting boogie boards. Mm-hmm. There's still value to provide the world there. But the other side of that coin is, I know what I'm capable of. Mm-hmm. And if I don't do it,
Yeah.
if I don't try, did I waste my
Potential.
my God-given gift, my whatever, did I not use what I was given and let whoever gave me that down,
See, it's a gray area, because you look at the people who are, like, the greatest of all time in their respective sports or careers or whatever. You look at, like, the Tom Bradys and the Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Those guys sacrificed a lot. In some ways, they sacrificed their family even You know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he wasn't showing up to his family members' funerals, you know, because he was training, because his mind was focused on training. Tom Brady, I mean, the family didn't work out, you know, the relationship didn't work out. And was it because of his dedication to the game? Maybe, probably, honestly.
But he's the greatest of all time.
At what cost?
Right.
You know, so you talk about balance. And you talk about living up to your potential. Yeah, you might have that in your head, like, I know how great I can be, but in some ways it becomes a selfish act, which is okay. But in some ways it becomes a selfish act of, and then it's the ego inside of you of wanting to live up to that ego, the voice, the ego inside your head. So it is tough, and and the older you get, and the more you are not just responsible for yourself, and there's other people in your life that you're responsible for. Yeah, you have to kind of kill that ego a little bit.
I'm there a little bit because my family's good. From music, for the rest of our lives, we should be good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anything new, as much as I can say, I got to do this, I got to take care of my family, I'm doing this for us.
You're already good. So now,
we're already good.
Now what's it for? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So am I, like a new business venture, a new whatever, you can't use the excuse of I'm doing this for us.
Yeah.
Because I've already done for us. We're good. So if you're just honest and you say, I'd like to do this for me, is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be honest about it. And then, you know, your significant other can support you there, or can say, like, I really want you home, you know? I don't think we need one more thing. But there can be that conversation.
To play devil's advocate, though, you're a guy that doesn't go on the road and tour.
Yeah.
You're not doing 50 to 100 dates a year.
Yeah.
You're just not doing that at all.
No.
You haven't had to. So you're already local enough.
Yeah.
And you don't seem like a guy that's really like attracted to the fame side of things too much. Even though you utilize social media to help grow your product, you're not someone who's just like dying to be in the spotlight. So you're already doing a great job. But at the same time, when you're making music and you're doing all these creative things in the music field, do you enjoy it? Like, are you enjoying like the act of doing it? Do you feel
creating content, making music?
Do you feel fulfilled doing what you're doing?
Yes. I love to create music. I still get the same feeling of a song being done.
Yeah.
And you just feel so good about, especially like one that stands out, you know. But that process, I love that start and finish. That door open, that door close, which I'm not able to do very well with other things. But one song started and done, that's like an everyday start, door open, door close, right? It feels good.
Yeah.
You get to see something become finished. But the other side of that is I'm not sentimentally attached to my music. I love the process. I love creating it. But I also always said, like, if it wasn't music, it would have been something else. Like, if my wife, when I came to her and said, do you mind if I pursue music as a career? She said, no. I would have found something else. Like, I wouldn't have. I love so many things. Music is one thing I love, and it creates a flexible life for me and my family. I get to do something I enjoy every day.
Yeah.
But if I couldn't do it, I'll find something else.
Right.
You know, it's not my end all be all. I think for some people, maybe they feel like it's like, this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah. But to go back to what we were talking about of like, when is it enough? You're already good.
Yeah.
Like pursuing more. I think it then comes down to, are you happy when you wake up and how you're spending your days? And if music making is a big piece of that, or it's a part of it, and you wake up and you're like, I can't wait to get in the studio and work on these songs.
Yeah.
Can't wait to finish these songs.
Yeah.
Then it's no longer about the end goal or like what's to come of it, or the outcome, or the money that comes from it, or the notoriety, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just the act of waking up and doing what you like.
Yeah.
That's it. And you can make the argument that in the early days, you had to be a little bit attached to the outcome because you're supporting a family.
You have to be.
You had to be a little attached to the outcome.
Pay more attention to the result. Pay more attention to the algorithm.
And now you can just let that go. You can let it go, and it's simply the act of just creating and making music.
Yeah.
If anything,
Really.
I think that's even better now for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in the fall of last year, it was the first time I felt a little like burnt out. Where Cakes would come to town. He comes every Tuesday and Thursday. He would come to town, and I wouldn't want to create anything, content.
Yeah.
Specifically content. And it felt like work.
Yeah.
Creating content felt like work. And I didn't want that. So I stopped. I didn't post on TikTok for 5 months.
5 months?
5 months.
Wow.
I still made a ton of music.
Yeah.
And it was during that time where I was like, we talked about it a little bit, is I felt like I beat the game. Not the music game, but whatever game I was playing in my own head of needing something from this, of setting new goals for it. My last goal that I set was 1 million streams a day.
Yep.
I hit that goal. I didn't set any more new goals. Actually, right after that, I went to the Keys for 6 weeks.
I remember that.
With my family.
Yeah.
And I made 23 new songs. So it wasn't the songs that I was tired of.
The content.
It was the content, the grinding of making people aware of, or whatever, like trying to make them more, you know. And funny enough, that was 1 million streams a day. I stopped caring about that. I still post content when I feel like it. If I have a song I love, I'll make a piece of content. I feel good about making that piece of content. And then the other day, I released an EP with Connor. I released my album. I released an EP with Connor. Still songs every 2 weeks. And on the day I released my EP with Connor, my catalog did 1.7 million streams on that day. So it's like, after I didn't set any more new goals, I'm still motivated. I'm still ambitious.
Just detached from the
But I'm
goals.
detached from the result.
Yeah, that's it.
But I'm still going up.
Yep.
You know? So it's like...
It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
And then one side note to touch on when you're saying, and I want it to be like really come through, is I would rather be at my son's soccer game, my son's 5-year-old soccer game,
Yeah.
than go do a festival for 50 grand.
Yeah, that's a great trait. It's an amazing trait to have.
And that maybe that's part of my balance, is like, I will not cross that line.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
I remember asking Mike this question like 3 years ago, and he didn't really know how to answer. I didn't really know either. And are there things that you enjoy doing just for yourself? Like take the career aside, take the family aside. Do you set time in the day to do things just for you to keep your balance right?
Right now, yes. And it's my animals.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is that like one of the reasons why you got animals? Why you enjoy them?
It's a recharge.
Yeah.
It's shutting my mind off from all the BS. It's filling my cup up. It's recharging me.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. You know, like for me, like animals are like, they love you.
Well, and you're being of service to those animals.
Yeah.
Some of them might not be alive today if you didn't take them in. So there's the being of service aspect as well.
I think it's so many boxes that it checks.
Yeah.
Just as like a in general, like human experience, kind of like human necessity, like human, like those feelings that of you want to be of service, you want to love and be loved, with nothing in the way of it.
Yeah.
Like an animal will love you just because you brought it some food, or just because you came down to pet it, or just because you saved it from a kill shelter.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no judgment on either side. And I think that, you know, for me, it's charging me back up.
I'm jealous that you get to do that every day, right?
Yeah.
Every day you're going down there.
Every morning, every
See,
evening.
I'm jealous of that. I just started at the animal shelter right down the street from here when I moved here, and I go a couple times a week. And I actually haven't been in a few weeks, and I'm starting to feel unbalanced because a lot of things I'm doing now, it's just work that's requiring me to show up, and I'm not able to do those things that are, for me, but have like no, like serve me in no other way than just feeling fulfilled for just doing something selfless.
Sure.
So I'm jealous of you because when I moved here, I was like, I need to find something that I can just do selflessly that I enjoy.
For you.
It's for me, but the reason why I feel fulfilled from it is because I'm being of service to someone, and it benefits me in no other way than just me feeling fulfilled from doing it. And I love dogs, I love animals, so I thought, perfect.
Yeah.
Go down there, slap on the fanny pack, take the dogs out, hang out with them.
And now this is one thing that is important, is when you're in a career like myself doing music, like a lot of people listening, your significant other will look at it like you're not working. You're doing something that you like. You're having fun.
Hobby. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or even when it becomes the living, it's still something that you like, So maybe they're not taking it serious as a job still.
Yeah.
They think you're going there and you're filling your cup all day, all day, all day. And then you come home and you should be as available, right? As if you have. And I'm trying to think of, do you understand like kind of where I'm at with that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I think it's important to talk about, and I don't know the balance there, but I think it's just like a communication understanding thing that you have to have with your partner. But being on is very draining.
I know what you're talking about,
You know?
because it is creating like that. Like if you're just making a song from scratch or editing a video or doing something that requires a lot of micro mental decisions, a lot of them, like hundreds, thousands over the course of several hours. By the time you're done, you're drained.
Yeah.
Your mind is just like, it's like you said, you've been on for so long.
Yeah.
You come home, you're there physically,
Right.
but you're kind of just shut down.
Yeah.
And have you had to deal with that?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
of course. But
Yeah.
but now I have the luxury, like this kind of where I wanted to talk about where I was before.
Yeah.
But now I have the luxury where I really like Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of the all day days. Cakes comes to town. And then the other days, doesn't matter which one really. It's if I feel inspired, I go in. If I have something that I do need to do that might have a deadline, I go in.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I'm available for my family. I'm not getting burnt out. I'm more time with the animals. I'm working on the farm. I'm building something there. And I'm working on my home. And I know that's a luxury.
Yeah.
And, you know, it took a lot of that hard work, grinding, figuring out the balance to get there.
Yeah.
And a lot of blind faith and a lot of delusional self-belief, you know?
Yeah. That's what you have to do.
But at the same time, like, that might not be the goal for, you know, is that a realistic goal for everyone?
Is what a realistic goal?
Being able to work 2 days a week? You know, probably not, right?
Well, it's different for everyone. You can't, like, there's not one goal for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
I think that really comes down to, we live in this society now where it's always like, you see everywhere online, grind. Oh, I got to wake up, work 12 hours a day, chase your dream, don't stop, keep running, keep doing it, keep going. And we're kind of missing the point on, it's equally as important to work on yourself as it is on whatever career goals you have. And your career is just a small piece of the pie, you know? So for me, the balance is if I wake up and I spend all day in my career, 12, 13, 14 hours, and then I go to sleep, that's not a balanced day. Did I work hard? Did I achieve all the things I wanted to achieve within my career? Yeah, absolutely. Pat on the back. But at the end of the day, what did I gain from it as a human being? Yeah. You know, like, even the work I'm doing, I feel fulfilled by it. I love it. I'm blessed to do what I love. Right. But did I nurture the relationships in my life? Did I take care of myself? Did I eat healthy? Did I exercise? Did I go outside and get some sunlight and be around nature?
Did I leave this chair?
That's what I'm saying. Like life's too short to just like sit in a chair and grind until you make a bunch of money, so then you can go do those things for free.
Right.
It's about knowing what that balance is, and it's different for everyone. Yeah. And like we're mentioning things like being with the animals or you know, being with your family or being present with your family. Like it's different for everyone. Yeah. But I think it's important to note that, like, if you're an independent artist, I get it. Like I am restless most days when I try to relax because my success starts and ends with me. And the same way for you. There's no boss saying like you have to. Well, Mike's kind of my boss, but sure. But for the most part, we work for ourselves, and it starts and ends with us. And you can always be doing more. Yeah, you can always be doing more. We're not working for some corporation where we just like check in 9 to 5, check out, go home and watch TV and hang with the family. It starts and ends with us as success. Yeah, and it gets really difficult, and I still struggle with this, to just pardon my language, but just fucking relax sometimes. Literally. Go outside for a walk around barefoot in the grass and just get a little sunlight and just look at the trees for a half hour. Sometimes it gets hard to just do that.
Why is it hard? You know? Yeah. We've trained ourselves that if we don't accomplish everything that we have in our minds, that we're not shit.
Yeah. But see, that's where it all ties into being obsessed with the result.
Yeah.
And when we get obsessed with the result and the goals, and we put expectations on where we need to be at what time and what date, and get this much money or all that, win these awards, then it's hard to relax, because you're so stuck on the outcome of things rather than just enjoying the process. And I think that's where balance comes, where you can just enjoy the process and detach from the results, and know when to take those breaks, and know when to do things for yourself, and know when to show up for those relationships in your life.
Now, do you think there's a season where grinding is required?
Like what, for example?
You know, like maybe the first 10 years of your career.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Is it required, and then you find balance, right? Is it like, how do you
see? I look back at my formative years when I exited college. I worked for myself from day one.
Right.
And that first year, I struggled a bunch,
right.
and I worked really hard.
Yeah.
But again, like, I was in New York City. I was in like the highest energy city maybe in the world, and I was programmed to think like, I gotta go out here and I gotta make it on my own, and I gotta, by any means necessary, I gotta make it. I have to. And of course, there's people got to pay rent. It's people got to take care of themselves. They got to put food on the table. And like, if that's what's motivating you to work 12 hours a day, so be it. I understand that everyone's circumstances are different. If you have the luxury to take breaks and you're doing okay, then more balance can come in, I think.
So maybe it's,
I like the way you said it, though. Seasons for grinding.
Seasons for grinding.
Yeah, I like that.
And then you just have to be self-aware to notice when your body or your mind is saying, take a break and listen. And because when you push through, right? But at the same time, it's supposed to be a little uncomfortable. Like, growth is uncomfortable.
No, for sure.
Balance is tough.
I know. There's a lot of conflicting ideologies here, and I struggle with it to this day. Totally. I know. That's wild.
Balance is one of the toughest things, I think, just in general.
Because I'm grateful for those first 7 years of my career where I just worked, and I still had a good time. I've had a lot of good times.
Yeah.
But man, I was never more anxious and had more anxiety in my entire life, just from living in New York City and spending most of my days just sitting in a studio chair and just cranking out emails and beats and videos and edits and this and that.
Yeah, I think it boils down to people just understanding there's more than whatever your personal goals are. Not that they're irrelevant or not that they're not important, but there's more.
Yeah.
And I think people need to dive deep into what that more is.
And when to know enough is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's key.
You
don't need more from that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's more to life than your personal agenda.
And
knowing when what you have is enough. And that's where I got back in, I think it was literally October of last year, October, November. I was like, I have enough. I am enough. I don't need any more. But I love what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing it. And if more comes, it's a blessing. But I don't need it. And I'm detached from the result of what I'm doing.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's
and you
beautiful.
feel good, you feel good.
I'm just thinking back to those early years again, and like, I will say, there's a season for grinding, but if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not nurturing your relationships in your life, your art will suffer. It really will. It
so
really
there's a
will.
balance there.
Because if you're not okay with yourself, your art's going to suffer.
Sure.
It really will be.
Sure.
So, just something to think about.
Yeah.
Hell of a conversation.
You could go on for another hour. I don't know how long we talked.
Yeah. I don't know. The timer's not on there, but I mean, it's something I struggle with to this day, and I don't know if it's a code I will ever crack.
Yeah.
And all we can do is try. But as long as we're being mindful about it, I think that's the first step.
Yeah. Dude, knowing when enough's enough. That's a dang book title.
Yeah.
Know when enough's enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
What do we do from here? Go into another question or just end it?
No, I mean, we talked for a while. We could
talk for a while?
We could
can end
probably just end it. But
all right.
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
So sorry about the non-advice we just gave.
That was the best advice you could give. Are you kidding me? Like this, if you're expecting like a how-to tutorial on how to do certain things, life is number one.
Yeah.
Happiness in life and being okay with yourself is number one.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if you whenever you lead with a good intention and you detach from the results and you hang around good people, things are going to work out.
Yeah.
You just have to be patient and the universe will provide.
That's it.
This is brought to you by Manscaped.
Shave your dicks. We'll see you.